Hi, I'm Melanie Fine, and this is the Shuttle Story. The story I want to tell you actually began a long time ago in a galaxy not too far away. Well, to be exact, in our galaxy. It began around 3,000 years ago when Moshe went up to Har Sinai and wrote down the Torah as God instructed him to do. Our story actually begins long before that, but in the interest of time. It took 40 days and 40 nights for God to dictate the Torah to Moshe, who diligently wrote down every word. God told Moshe that this Torah, and this Torah only, would lead the Jewish people with its wisdom from generation to generation. Sometimes Moshe complained about the exhausting nature of his work. "Why do I have to put little crowns in all these letters?" he asked God. "Surely I would be finished much sooner if not for them." But God shushed him by telling him about Rabbi Akiva, who, though not yet born, would one day be so good at interpreting God's Torah that he would even be able to interpret the crowns on top of the letters. So Moshe wrote everything down, and what he didn't write down, he kept in his head and told to the people down below. Mercha tipcha munach et nachta, mercha tipcha, mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me, I got it straight from God. And they taught their children, and their children taught their children, and their children taught their children's children, and so many Jews were teaching so many other Jews that a new profession emerged, that of the bar mitzvah tutor. And the bar mitzvah tutor taught, as Moshe had taught, Mercha tipcha munach et nachta, mercha tipcha, mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me, I got it straight from my great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. This Torah traveled with the wandering Israelites from camp to camp, and it resided inside the Ark of the Covenant, which was created for this one purpose, while its melodies and its teachings resided in the hearts of the Jews who kept watch over it. Great power was attributed to the Ark of the Covenant, and woe to those who possessed it against God's will. Well, all of you who have seen Raiders of the Lost Ark know this. The Torah scroll dictated to Moshe was written on parchment made from the skin of a kosher animal. He wrote with a feather from a kosher bird in deep black ink. From this Torah, every Torah thereafter was written. And every Torah thereafter had to be written on parchment, taken from the skin of a kosher animal, written with a feather from a kosher bird in deep black ink. And if Moshe wasn't available to do the writing himself, then a suitable substitute had to be found. So many laws were written as to the process and the quality of person who was allowed to write a Torah scroll. And this person, no matter how knowledgeable he or she was never allowed to write a Torah from memory, but he always had to write a Torah from another Torah. And with every Torah, there was always someone who carried the melodies and teachings in his or her heart as well. Mercha tipcha munach et nachta, mercha tipcha, mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me, I got it straight from my great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from his great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. And in difficult times for the Jews, even in times when the Jews weren't able to keep the Torah close to them, they kept the Torah in their hearts. And when they were able, they made Sifrei Torah from parchment, taken from the skin of a kosher animal, written with a feather from a kosher bird in deep black ink. And it was read to all who could understand. And bar mitzvah tutors taught the Torah to their students. Mercha tipcha munach et nachta, mercha tipcha, mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me, I got it straight from my great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from his great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from his great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. And when they came for the Jews in the middle of the 20th century, one such scroll was smuggled into Bergen-Belsen in northwestern Germany, the same camp that housed Anne Frank. A tree of life to them who hold fast to it, this Torah was. Not a very large Torah, as Torahs go. A large Torah probably would have been noticed. But this Torah was smuggled into the camp by a rabbi from Amsterdam, who did not live to see it freed from Bergen-Belsen, but brought this gift of life to his fellow inmates anyway, and gave this gift of life to a 13-year-old boy whom he taught. Mercha tibcha munach et nachta. Mercha tibcha, mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me. I got it straight from my great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from his great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from his great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from his great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. And at the end of the war, when this 13-year-old was freed from Bergen-Belsen, he took this little Torah, this gift of life, and traveled far, far away to help found a new country, well, a very ancient new country, a country named for its people Yisrael, a people who struggle with God. And this young boy had already struggled so much with God. And he studied as much science as he could and learned as much about God's world as he could, to the extent that he even became a professor of planetary physics. And he worked with a young Israeli who was too young to have survived the Holocaust, but whose mother survived Auschwitz, and whose father fought for Israel's independence. And this young Israeli took this Torah, the same Torah which had been a gift of life to the inmates of Bergen-Belsen, which had traveled from Amsterdam, which was scribed by a sofer fully versed in the Torah and in the laws of making a Torah scroll, which was made from parchment taken from the skin of a kosher animal, written with a feather from a kosher bird in deep black ink, just as Moshe had done, and which had been taught to student after student ever since. Mercha tibcha munach et nachta. Mercha tibcha, mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me. I got it straight from my great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from his 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 great-great-grandfather, who got it straight from Moshe, who got it straight from God. He took this Torah up into space, for to him, this scroll symbolizes more than anything the ability of the Jewish people to survive everything, including horrible periods, and to go from darkest days to days of hope and faith in the future. And though neither he, nor his Torah, nor his 6 crewmates returned to Earth, we can be assured that all 7 souls returned to God who created them, and that the letters of the Torah, written in deep black ink, soared among the stars and cast a heavenly light among all of God's creations, chanting, "The earth is Adonai's and its fullness, the world and all those who inhabit it." And that somewhere, somehow, in a galaxy far, far away, some extraterrestrial bar mitzvah tutor is teaching some extraterrestrial being, Mercha tibcha munach et nachta. Mercha tibcha, mercha sof pasuk. That's how it goes. Trust me. I got it straight from this Torah scroll that came whizzing by me early one morning, much to my surprise. And that's where Moshe interrupted God. You really expect me to believe this story? That one day human beings are going to ascend to your holy mountain? That they'll actually fly into space like the angels? And God shushed him. Moshe, my dear boy, after I freed you from Egypt, split the Red Sea, provided manna for you in the wilderness, when are you going to learn that with God, all things are possible? Thank you for listening to my story. My name is Cantor Melanie Fine, and I read the story 15 years ago, the Friday after the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster. People love the story every time I read it, and it's been a dream of mine to turn it into a published book, which is why I've launched a Kickstarter project in February 2018. You can access the project at shuttlestory.com. I was almost going to say shuttlebook, shuttlestory.com. And my book is going to be printed with beautiful illustrations. It's going to have audio embedded or link to the audio embedded so people can learn the trope. And it's even going to teach basic Torah trope. It's a great gift for upcoming B'nai Mitzvah. You can dedicate the book. You can dedicate the book in memory of someone you love. It's a story that tells that transmission of Torah, not just from God to Moshe down to the rabbis, but even to the scientists and an astronaut like Ilan Ramon, and to us and our children from generation to generation. I think this story encapsulates it in a way that touches the hearts of everyone. Please help me turn this story into a book by going to shuttlestory.com, buying a book, buying more books, telling everyone you know about it, about the Shuttle Story, and I hope to hand deliver or at least mail you a signed copy of my book when it is published in hardcover. Thank you for listening. Take care.